went off for demonstration to fashion new strategies to enhance security. From Lagos, Victoria Olabode, NTA News.
Items worth over 23 million naira have been seized by the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC. This was disclosed at a media briefing by the agency in Lagos. Annie Daniels has details.
The Director General, NAFDAC, represented by the Head of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate, Kisle Joshua, while intimating the media on the agency's recent arrest, noted that when Mr. Charles Onyeka was arrested for allegedly counterfeiting the popular Verica tomato paste worth 8 million naira, while Mr. Victor K.K. Buka is being investigated for invalidating expired Maggi aroma seasoning, Amoy soy sauce dark, and Superior soy sauce worth 15 million naira.
Nigerian trade and government supermarkets are being investigated for distribution and sale of unregistered products labeled in foreign language.
Others are Tochukwu Ozala and Obiora Ochoba, also arrested for production, distribution and sales of counterfeit magic syrup. One ransom the justice says is Tochukwu Ozala, whose case is still being investigated after being arrested on the 12th of February 2015.
So the problem is that the counterfeiters are using the fundamental human right issue as an engine of fraud, and the issue is that there is a constitutional provision that until you are proven guilty, you are presumed innocent.
Consumers are advised to be on the lookout for these counterfeit products that are capable of damaging the human system. Meanwhile, the agency has declared one Mr. Onodinjo, Chief Endogenous, wanted for partaking in the counterfeit of the codeine containing cough syrup. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
The Nigerian Union of Journalists will take stiffer measures to put a stop to the menace of quacks in the practice of journalism in the country. The union's new president, Abdulwahid Udusile, stated this while addressing members of the Lagos State chapter of the union. Abdullahi Mohammed reports. The new NUJ president observed that it has become necessary to arrest the spate of embarrassment caused the practice of journalism by fake journalists. He pointed out that pursuing the welfare of journalists, especially as regards remuneration, remains a top priority for his administration.
And will not take kindly to any employer in the media owing our members. That is our first priority, and we say that clearly, and will not respond to our members get their salaries as and when due. We are also going to focus on professionalism, because it's an issue that is very, very dear to us. If somebody hours are owing up to 10 months, it's even 12, 14 months. So I think his first priority should be the salary, the debt to his members. I know that the database for Nigerian journalists. By the time you do some of these things, people will be reduced to very minimum.
The NUJ president also reiterated his commitment to address the alleged remittances of NUJ dues to the payers of another union by the new civil service salary payment scheme.
We are going to work, we are going to meet with IPPS people, and we want to do something about it.
This is the first time the newly elected NUJ president is attending the Lagos chapter of the NUJ Congress. But the message he has left with them is an assurance that he is ready and committed to ensure that the 7-point agenda of his campaign is achieved within the period of his tenure as the president of the NUJ. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News. Well, that's our package from Lagos. It's back to you, Ogechi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola, and to a little bit of politics now. Self-interest in factional politics have been identified as the bane to the growth of party politics across the country. Taking a look at the dismal performance of some political parties during elections, leaders of the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State said it is for this reason the party is re-strategizing to position itself for success in the coming partnership election in the state. Mabu Fawonye has details.
In line with its posture, the party inaugurated new ward, local government and state officials in Oka, the state capital, A party leader, Comrade Tony Moye, decried the failure of the party to clinch governorship position in the state in previous election.
We are charging you to be good ambassadors in different words, visiting you from time to time. Some people have been doing a lot of speculations. They want to move to party A, move to party B, move to party C. But PDP is our home.
The newly state chairman, O.C. Ezenwa, said the party will focus on equity and justice to promote principles of democracy. Some party stalwarts expressed confidence in the new structure put in place.
At the end of the day, we, PDP, Anambra State, will occupy the government house in Oka. The beginning of PDP again. This is where we do PDP 1999.
About 5,030 officials were inaugurated into various posts in the state, local government and ward executives. From Oka, Wabufomoye, NTA News.
That's so much for now. As we pause for some messages. Listen to that news continues in a moment. Join us again. Ultimate Hotel, Abuja, the ultimate place to be. Anticipated release of excess water from Cameroon's Lagdo Dam once again. The consequences are Nigeria's emergency preparedness and the focus on NTT Live this Tuesday. Tuesday Live, informative, interactive and educative. Don't be told. Join us. Welcome back. The date for the commencement of airlifting of intended programs for the 2015 Hajj has changed from 18th August to 23rd August. Sultan of Secretary Mohammed Fahad Bakr III, but is known at the stakeholders meeting in Abuja. Ali Tukur reports.
Declaring the stakeholders meeting open, the Sultan of Sokoto said the change of date from 18th August to 23rd became necessary so as to reduce intending pilgrims' stay in the Holy Land. He said adequate arrangement has been put in place to ensure that Nigeria meets the deadline for the closure of airport in Saudi Arabia, while this year's operation will kickstart in Kaduna State. Chairman of the Commission urged stakeholders to work closely with the Commission for a hitch-free exercise.
We will do whatever it takes to adopt cost-saving measures and will work towards financial autonomy of the Commission, which will be gradual withdrawal of government funding
so that the commission can start on its feet.
The meeting was also an avenue to review the preparations for the 2015 Hajj operations in Abuja. Aliyu Tukur, NTA News.
The conflict between the Federal University of Technology, MENA, and the host community, Gideon Kwano, and other neighboring community, over proper compensation when the institution was cited, is about to be resolved. It follows the submission of all the parties involved in the conflict to the mediatory role of the National Human Rights Commission, which has inaugurated a 3-member panel of mediation. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Professor Bramangwa, who inaugurated the panel in Abuja, the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mamman Michael Shumer's chairman, said the mediation approach is the best option if the parties in the dispute will require peaceful coexistence, as they will remain permanent neighbors.
We will put to rest the issues, and these are not issues that we want them to be put to rest simply through legal technicalities or judgments and what we are looking at and the parties were very happy for this matter to be put to rest once and for all.
I personally know my colleagues on the panel as we have together related under the auspices of both the Arewa Lawyers Forum and the Nigerian Bar Association. They are capable, ethical, and patriotic.
Some neighbors, some communities around the site of the university had filed a complaint to the commission that they were facing ejection by the university authority. Other members of the panel include Jibin Kutekba, SAN, and Solicitor General Nassarawa State, Abigail Waya. The Federal Road Safety Corps impounds 50 trucks for non-compliance with directives in a number of states. Details and more with Chegono in our network studios. Chegono, is over to you.
Good afternoon, Ogechi. You're welcome to Enugu. Poultry farmers in Abia State are apprehensive following the outbreak of avian influenza, otherwise known as bird flu, in some farms in the state. Dennis Temple has a situation report.
The Director of Epidemiology, Disease Surveillance and Control in Abia State, Dr. Wiki Ono, who confirmed the outbreak, encouraged farmers and consumers not to panic as the situation is under control. He urged them to report any sign of the influenza and avoid the risk of selling or consuming the affected birds. So it's a fact that the same samples and it was confirmed that warm. And the national capacity is warm. It's like that is 40. So the country will go. But we have those and really abusive the farmers to be very careful and watchful over their birds. The disease was first seen in Nigeria in 2006 and affected about 69 of the 777 government areas in the country. By 2007, the recent case of recurring after many years was in the southwest and some parts of northern states. The virus is dreaded because of its capacity to infect humans as well. In Umuahia, Dennis Temple, NTA.
The Family Succor and Upliftment Program of the wife of the governor of Ebonyi State, Rachel Omahi, has been flagged off. The pet project, which was flagged off by the governor, David Omahi, at the International Conference Center, Abakaliki, has women, children, and youth as its focus. Chinaza John has a report.
The project focuses on health, education, economic empowerment for women and youth, as well as the liberation of women from practices against the female folk. Wife of the governor, Mrs. Rachel Omahi, appreciated the development partners and the state government for their support and promised to enhance the socio-economic status of the women, children, and youth. Flagging of the project, Governor David Omahi assured her of the support of the three arms of government and expressed confidence that the vices faced by the family and society will be tackled through the pet project.
And we are all saying what we have and very exercising to communicate with our family and to do a program
The event featured review messages by the development partners, unveiling of the project's logo, and presentation of IFAD modern package of fertilizers and agrochemicals to 58 women and youths by the wife of the governor. In Abakaliki, Chinasa John is in.
The Federal Road Safety Corps in Anambra State has impounded about 50 trucks and other vehicles for non-compliance with directive as it affects port operations. Senior FSU Corps reports that 86 offenders have also been arrested. The Department exercise was led by the Sector Commander, RS 5.2 Anambra State Command, Mr. Sunday Ajayi, Unit Commander, Special Marshals, accompanied by armed policemen and civil defense officers. It took the officers and men of the command to Ihala axis of Onisha Road in Anambra State. The team also checked the tires, vehicle license, number plates, and vehicle engines.
We have discovered that a lot of trailers move on the road without latching their container. We have seen it. A lot of them go about without good tires. A lot of them don't have reflective tape. A lot of them go with extra lights. Some don't even have driver's license.
This is exactly part of what road safety is talking about underage drivers. Can you imagine the days of this boy? With this enforcement exercise, the Federal Safety Corps, Anambra State Sector Command said, efforts to clamp down on the first part of traffic rules and regulations will not stop until sanity is restored on Nigerian roads. From Iyala, Sierra Safety Okolo. That is from here, Ogechi. Over now to you for the rest of Nationwide.
Children on Nationwide continues. Wife of the Inspector General of Police, Mrs. Aradaso Solomon Arasa, has flagged off the nationwide polio meningitis immunization free cervical cancer screen for police officers' wives in Mina, the Niger State capital. Along Jury and me reports that the immunization and screening exercise are geared towards achieving the goals of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA.
President of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, Mrs. Agarase Solomon Arase, was in Mina, the Niger State capital, to officially flag off a campaign to reduce meningitis and poliomyelitis as well as cervical cancer among the families of the officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force, with a view to achieving one of the objectives of the association, which includes capacity building and prompt intervention to women-centered issues. Flagging off the campaign, the IG's wife, Mrs. Agarase Solomon Arase, explained that the exercise, which was initiated by the leadership of the police force, is to promote general well-being of officers and men to improve productivity of the Nigeria Police Force nationwide.
We are here to be committed to the welfare of all women, not just police wives. From the condition of our barracks here, which to a very large extent has improved through the years, but enough is not enough. It means we can do more. What she has started, we intend to keep it up and keep it alive. I want to tell other women they should try and take their children for immunization.
Niger State Commissioner of Police, Olusola Amore, who underscored the importance of a healthy living, applauded the IGP's wife for choosing the command for the pilot program. The event featured lecture on awareness of cervical cancer and its treatment by Superintendent Police Yeka Ume and free medical checkup among others. Olayanju Oriyomi, NTA News.
The inauguration of the expanded Suez Canal in Egypt was well celebrated as a feat in maritime services in the world. It is similar to the initiative of the federal government and dredging of the river Niger. Against the background, Waziri Zayani reports on the story of the two projects.
Ismail is the lifeblood of Egypt, and the Suez Canal is the country's umbilical cord to the world because some 7.5% of world sea trade passes through the canal. Comparatively, it will also be said that River Niger is to Nigeria what the Nile is to Egypt. This is because through their various attributaries, both Nile and Niger provide sources of livelihood in the areas of irrigation, water transportation, fisheries and other forms of aquatic life to millions of people dwelling along the bank. Egypt's expansion project of its existing 145-year-old Suez Canal therefore readily brings to mind the dredging of River Niger. a more or less similar project commissioned in September 2009. 38 billion naira was earmarked for the venture, which started from Baro in west central Nigeria to Warri in the south, with the intention of making it easier for goods to be transported to the hinterland as a result of bad roads and poor railway services. At present, the $8.2 billion Suez Canal expansion, which started in August 2014, now doubled the number of ships passing through it to almost 100 every day. On the other hand, in spite of huge investment, dredging of the river Niger continues to make very little or no progress. Egyptians who are so proud of the canal also bought shares in the project and are already anticipating crossing revenue through the canal to increase from 5.5 billion to $13.5 billion in the next decade. From the Suez Canal in Egypt, Nigerian, News.
Former head of state had some revival of the education sector, just as residents in flood-prone areas in Kaduna State grapple with floods. This and more from our Kaduna Center. Suleiman is our guide. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Paul, and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Residents in some flood-prone areas in Kaduna are beginning to grapple with the flood disaster following heavy rainfall experienced some days ago. Correspondent Austin Ayebe, who visited some of the areas, reports.
In the country that always experienced flooding in recent years, it is now August and the rainy season has got to its climax. Already River Kaduna is beginning to overflow its banks, and the fear among residents in the flood-prone areas is that of flooding.
Already it is taking tolls on the people who have built on flood-prone areas and having experienced the disaster for some years now refuse to vacate. More worrisome is the way people ignore building rules and continue to build new houses close to river banks and gully areas. It is like all warnings by NEMA, SEMA and other agencies of government on the consequences of building on waterways falling on deaf ears.
Who that lives around the place, I blame them, because before you buy a land, you have to go there and see the environment. Wherever the water is flowing from, you cannot stop it, because definitely that is his road. Like calling say the rich people, so there is no good. See how the people they come wasting money here, they use.
Some people who built their houses on swampy areas in Kamazo in Chukun local government area are already counting the losses.
Not much damage has been done, but we keep on advising everybody to be on guard, so that we won't have the worst scenarios like we had some years ago. Our earnest desire is to see if we can avert it completely, but the way it's happening, we need maximum cooperation from the people of the state.
This may be the beginning, as NIMET has predicted flooding in some states of the country this year. In Kaduna, Austin Ayebe, News.
Former head of state General Yakubu Gowon said there is the need for Nigerians to continue complementing government's efforts towards revamping the education sector in the country. General Yakubu Gowon, who is an old student of Zaria College, Zaria State Base, at the combined annual general meeting of the college's Old Boys Association, which took place in Zaria. Correspondent Achari Maxwell has the details.
General Yakubu Gowon, who was the chairman of the occasion, noted that the development of education at all levels should be the responsibility of all, and government alone cannot bear the burden. The Secretary of Sokoto, Abubakar, applauded the association for the provision of infrastructure and basic amenities in the college. He, however, said there is a need for more commitment as some of the structures in the college are dilapidated and need urgent attention. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who is also an old student of the college, said the state government is willing to partner civil society, corporate organizations and private individuals to revive the education sector in the state.
As we did here today, we cannot deny that things have changed in our education sector for the more. We are getting better ongoing innovation. We're beginning to control professional development or training teachers in career college. We will continue and build on that and do it across the state.
The annual general meeting is expected to come up with resolutions that will assist the state and federal government in the effort to restore the glory of the education sector. In Zaria, Atari Maxwell,
The retired Army, Navy, and Air Force officers said they are ready to use their expertise and wealth of experience in assisting the federal government in the fight against insurgency whenever they are called upon. Members of the Retired Officers Association stated this at the 28th anniversary of the association held in Kabila. Correspondent Tina Toro reports.
Not different as members of the association came together to take stock, re-strategize, and unwind. Members of the association say they are ready to assist the federal government in the fight against insurgency whenever the need arises.
We are reservists who are ever ready to respond to any call by the government in the service of the nation.
Chairman of Ranao, Kaduna State Chapter, Brigadier General Tai Pedro, said the association is committed to ensuring the welfare of its members.
Always having problems with payment of pensions and everything.
Speaking on the topic, revenue generation while on retirement, the speaker emphasized the need for Nigerians to always make plans for the future.
It's not everybody you expect to go into looking for extras as to what should come in addition to the pension.
Some members of the association speak.
We have suffered from the beginning, but now many people are accepting government should take cognizance of our presentation so far over the years, so that they come out with policies that will make Nigerian veterans look up with pride to the government as a counterpart to in other countries.
The Retired Army, Navy and Air Force Officers Association was established on the 8th of August 1987 to serve as a rallying point for retired officers. In Kaduna, Tina Toro, NTA News.
And that is our contribution from Kaduna Network Center. It's back to you, Objective for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Suleiman. School teachers and administrators from across the Federation are attending a week-long workshop on special needs education to improve the quality of teaching and learning in schools. Franca Uzamaodia reports that the workshop is being facilitated by 2 Nigerian diasporans.
Special education is a customized education program designed to meet the uniqueness of persons with special needs. They include the visually and hearing impaired, physical and health impaired, and intellectually disabled. Unfortunately, this group of pupils and students do not receive adequate attention in the school system.
Special needs starts with identifying that there are students in our community that don't learn the way that everybody else learns. So it's recognizing that people have different needs, different learning styles, different ways to motivate them.
The capacity building is a public-private sector initiative aimed at addressing the learning gaps of children with special needs.
It's acknowledged that when you tap the expertise of the diaspora, they can contribute to development. And for a country like Nigeria, we try to equip what the diaspora can bring in by just looking at the remittances that Nigeria has been able to get from the diaspora that is out there.
Through relevant interactions, participants will be exposed to the implications of patterning, memory, questioning, emotion, and other natural pathways that will facilitate learning for the children.
You have to put the infrastructure in place. You have to, the government has to reach out to people who are considered experts in this area, that is education.
The workshop will end on Friday in Abuja. Franca Uzoma Olo, NTA News.
Abuja is standing by in our Port Harcourt Network Center. On the lineup, destruction of illegal refineries, River State, as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency steps up war on illegal drugs in Bayelsa State. Abuja, take it over from here.
See you, Ogechi. Welcome to Port Harcourt. Towards strengthening the River State Civil Service as one of the best in the country, 12 new permanent secretaries have been sworn in, with the mandate to reposition the state civil service for better productivity. Governor Nyesom Wike gave the charge during the swearing-in ceremony held at Government House, Port Harcourt. Correspondent Ogedin Ekwe completes the story.
After the swearing-in ceremony, Governor Wike charged the new permanent secretaries to uphold professional ethics and contribute to the actualization of the new Rivers vision. He advised the new appointees against personal interest, but rather the state interest should be given priority. Head of Service Rivers State, Mr. Rufus Godwin, said the new permanent secretaries are men and women who have served the state in various capacities and believe they will work towards upholding ethical standards and international best practices in the civil service. Some of the newly sworn-in permanent secretaries say they will instill discipline and promote good work ethics.
We take them from the first 11 team of the public service.
The ceremony was graced by the family members and friends of the newly sworn-in permanent secretaries. In Port Harcourt, Ogedin Ekwe, NTA News.
And in its effort to end illegal refining sites in the Niger Delta region, the 2-Brigade Nigerian Army Sector Joint Task Force Operation Polo Shield has destroyed 60 illegal refining camps in Rivers State. Vivian Eziadife reports that the sites were destroyed during the JTF 30 days Operation Clean Up Illegal Refining Sites exercise in the state. Oil, which contributes about 80% of Nigerians' revenue and the mainstay of the economy, is dwindling as the country loses about 145,000 barrels of oil per day to oil theft. The activities of the saboteurs of the nation's economy are seriously devastating the environment with these unauthorized refining sites, thereby polluting the waters flowing in the creeks. To combat these illicit activities in River State, the 2-Brigade Battalion Group, Sector 2 Joint Task Force Operation Polo Shield, embarked on a 30 days operation, which is expected to stem the tide of illegal refining in the state.
Drums, they don't destroy easily. And that's why we came up with the idea of a swan boogie, as you can see. So this swan boogie, this is a turbo that actually move this swan boogie.
The commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Lawal Adebere, stressed that the swan boogie used to crush the metals and destroy the camps would not be easy for the perpetrators to reconstruct the site, noting that below in the below local government area, River State has the largest illegal refining centers. The community is, however, threatened by varying degrees of environment damage arising from the illegal activities. In Belo local government area in River State, NTA News.
But as much we can take from Port Harcourt and sports update now, dominance of the Southwest in 8th grade cricket competition continues as Nishikorian's 10th title in tennis at the U.S. capital. Amante Marcos reports.
Team Southwest claimed the title for the second National Cricket Federation Under-17 Girls Championship on Sunday after beating defending champion South-South. South-South had earlier won the toss, electing to field where Southwest batted and scored a total of 45 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 10 overs. In the second innings, South-South scored 8 runs in the first over, but quick wickets prevented them from scoring runs as Southwest eventually won by 3 runs.
I mean, the youngest we have so far from the South-South is a 10-year-old girl who is participating in this tournament. So, what else can we say? We're going to play safe.
The National Sports Commission says its main focus after the All-Africa Games in September will be grassroots sports development in order to get younger athletes to replace aging ones. Director General of the Commission, Al-Hassan Yakmut, was speaking on Sunday at a dinner to honor members of the national under-16 basketball team who got a wild card and placed fifth at the recent FIBA Africa Under-16 Basketball Championship in Bamako, the Malian capital. President of Nigeria Basketball Federation Tijani Umar expressed joy on the commendation from FIBA Africa that Nigeria actually presented under-16 players.
This team was the youngest team in the whole tournament.
Nigeria placed fifth out of 11 African countries that competed in the July 30 to August 8 competition, and Mali placed first and second and will represent Africa in the 2017 FIBA Under-17 World Championship in Spain. Kei Nishikori on Sunday emerged the winner of the Washington Open tennis competition, defeating John Isner in 2 sets of 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 in the final. With Sports News Update, Amanzi Marcus. NTA News.
With our last report, President Muhammadu Buhari has extended hearty congratulations to Nigeria's team at the just concluded Special Olympics in Los Angeles, United States. A statement from the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity says that President Buhari commends the team for their diligence, dedication and wonderful performance at the Games, in which they won a total of 71 medals, including 34 gold medals. The President also applauds the special athletes inspiring victories in Los Angeles, which he believes epitomizes the true Nigerian spirit and his personal conviction that whatever challenges the citizens face as a nation can be overcome through dedication, hard work and perseverance and a rise to the highest possible levels of accomplishment. The President assures the athletes that the federal government and all Nigerians are very proud of performance at the Special Olympics, in which they won medals in all featured events. Statement adds that the President looks forward to receiving members of the team at the Presidential Villa to celebrate their brilliant victories in Los Angeles. Well, that's it on this edition of NTA News Nationwide. Thanks for being part of it. Good afternoon.